Black, white with some black kids. Black car in the black crib. Black owned, black ran. Black woman and black man. Bet on black. Bet on black. Bet on black. Bet on black.
Hey, y'all, Gravity. Any day above ground, live it. I know this is a different upload than what you're used to on the Wednesday. Well, actually, you'll see this. Yeah, you'll see this Wednesday. I'll be nice. I'll put this out Wednesday because y'all need some content. Y'all need to decompress every now and again. So today, folks, I said, you know what? Let's see what the Bird app talking about. And of course, the Bird app is full of misogyny, toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, and comedy. Oh, yes. If you want to laugh, go to the Bird app, please. You will find racism. You will find people that never do research past what they're taught in school and, you know, the pseudo intellectual. But you will also find comedians on there. And comedians always get off every now and again. And that's only on Sundays now and again, because Sunday is a day of rest. That's what the Lord said, right? I think so. Christians, you can come in the comment section and, you know, correct me on that. So I've been following this brother since I've been back on the Bird app, and he's hilarious. And I said, let me bring him on, introduce you to him, and let's get it popping. So we have Rubyn Warren. He is a comedian. You're based in LA, correct?
Yeah, out here in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, yes. So he's out there in California, and you know, California is good for a laugh every day. But yes, we are on with Rubyn Warren, and we're gonna let him introduce himself, and we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, my name is Rubyn Warren. I'm a stand-up comedian, actor, and writer as well. Like I said, based out here in LA, originally from Portland, but moved out here from Atlanta. So I got a little mixture of everything, all over the country. Yeah, I just be on Twitter, man, just talking my shit, just having fun. I just know like Twitter is a very sensitive place. Like for whatever group you go in on, they be so quick to respond and want to just, get they licks off. So I just be having fun, just talking my shit and just and just seeing what happens and just seeing how people just take it so seriously. It's very entertaining to me. Very entertaining.
Oh yes. So the Bird app is definitely for entertainment. If you take the Bird app seriously, you're going to run your head through a wall. And I think a lot of people are finding that out nowadays because they're really sitting up here arguing with these white supremacists, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. It's not that hard. Talk your stuff and get off the app. You start engaging with them, you're going to waste at least an hour.
Yeah, I don't do the back and forth that much because, the back and forth is kind of counterproductive. It's like, I feel like your post is your stance. So there's no need to really kind of go back and forth. Like what you said is how you feel. So obviously people are going to disagree, but there's no need to go back and forth with people. It's like, I said what I said, let the chips fall where they may. Like I might go back sometimes. Like I remember I did a Lizzo tweet that kind of got some steam. And it was like when the Nelly thing had dropped about him. And so all the women was like, oh, so you got a little dick too then. And I would like, I'm the type, I'll troll them back. So one girl was like, oh, you got 5 inches. And I was like, no, I got 5 3/4. You know what I'm saying? So I just be having fun when I'm just trolling them back. You know what I mean? Like you can't let them know that you can't let them see you sweat. Even if I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I'll be like, oh, that one hurt a little bit. But you got to be like, you can't let them see that. So you can just troll them back. You let them know like it's all good. Like I'm gonna have fun with it. So that's all you can really do. And that makes him even more mad because it's like, dang it, he not going for it, So
yeah, he not apologizing for what he said. All right, Lizzo, you brought her up. Lizzo's Lizzo. We'll say that. Lizzo's Lizzo. At one instance, she's comfortable with who she is. Another instance, she want to lose the weight. One instance, the white feminists show up and tell her she's the greatest. And then she get mad that black people don't support her. Now I know Lizzo out there in LA. What's the consensus on Lizzo out there, if there is one?
I mean, it's to me like I just crack jokes about her just because like only like when she do antics and stuff, like her antics just be funny because it's like you are a big girl and you do be doing these ridiculous stunts, so you can't be mad that people decide to crack jokes or make fun of you. But I mean, I think overall, I mean, Lizzo, she be doing her thing. She just posted her man or whatever this weekend or something, and like good
Again,
for her. Like I will say, I do give her props
again,
because it's like, despite what she be doing. What?
She did it again.
You said again? What?
I thought she had a man.
Oh no! This weekend she just posted her boyfriend, like the dude. Oh yeah, she do. So I guess she took some new photos when because it's Grammys weekend this weekend. So they took photos, but nonetheless, though, I mean, like she got a man. You know what I'm saying? She happy. She doing her thing. But yeah, I just be laughing because it's like people act like you can't make fun of her. She puts herself in predicaments that allow her to be made fun of. So it's not like it's coming like from an unprovoked place. It's like she wants a reaction from people. So that's one thing I don't really care about with today's celebrities is that like instead of them to like focus on their talent and stuff, they do all this stuff for shock value, but then they play victim when the public reacts shocked. You know what I mean? It's like you can't have it both ways. Like you want to be able to do all this stuff for shock value, but then you don't want nobody to say nothing to. And if they say something to, it's something wrong with them saying something about being shocked. It's like you can't have it both ways. So if you're gonna play the shock value card, then you gotta accept everything that comes with that. But shout out to Lizzo though. I mean, she's doing her thing. Like I said, she's winning. She's doing her thing. So it's no hate or nothing. But like I said, I just be having fun with her. Like when she do her antics and stuff, I'm gonna definitely get my jokes off about it. But it's all love.
Yes, sir. But all right, Lizzo, you go to the back. I'm not spending no hour talking about you. You too easy. All right, so you based in LA. What's the? We know the news likes to give you not only a glamorized view of LA, but also like look at the homeless problem going on in LA. But they never ask people in LA when they do the national stuff. So I'm going to ask you, what is the street level like in LA right now? So people can really understand what's going on who are not from there.
Yeah, like on the street level, I mean, I'll say the street level is very kind of nonchalant, like as far as because that's like just the vibe in LA. Everybody just kind of like easy going. Nobody really trip. So it's like, I mean, we have our issues and stuff. Because even like when we were like in the news because all the everybody was just getting robbed on Melrose and stuff, and people just getting all them jackings. It don't really phase us out here. We kind of just be like, hey, like we kind of just know like how to move, So like even like when the PNB Rock dude got shot and stuff, it's like people in LA, when you in LA, like how to move and you know how to operate. So a lot of stuff don't really phase us like that. Like I said, we make national news so people get a certain type of perception. But for us out here on the streets, it's just another day. And like I said, you just know how to navigate and how to move through the city with the homelessness. I mean, I'll say this: last weekend I was with some people and they was from out of town, and like some homeless person was walking around doing something crazy, and they were just really like perturbed and disturbed. But everybody who just live in LA, we was not tripping at all. We was just like real calm, and it's like y'all ain't see that, and we were like, oh yeah, like why are you tripping? Like, exactly. So yeah, like I said,
that's a Thursday, bro.
Like we know our city. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like we know our city, so it's not really like a how y'all moving. It's like we just know how to move and we know what LA is, so you know how to just move accordingly.
Exactly. All right, y'all. I'm talking with Rubyn Warren, comedian based out in LA. Now you from Portland. Now I got a brother that I collaborate with, Beatzilla PDX, and he's up there in Portland. Is Portland really how they say it is? Because he be saying like, huh?
I'm saying we follow each other on Twitter. Beatzilla.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you don't know. So is Portland really the way Portland is? The way he be talking?
Well, I left when I was a teenager. That's when I moved out of there.
Oh,
so I can't speak on it too much because I haven't really spent my adult life there. But I will say it's very white. It's very liberal, which thus makes it very, very weird. Even growing up, like Portland was always like the weird white people city. You know, so you have that going on, and it's a small city at that, so it's very small city life. Every time I go back to visit my family and stuff there, I only try to be there for like 2 to 3 days because I just don't like it out there. It's just not my vibe. I'm usually like in and out. I see the homies, I see the family, and it's like, okay, I'm ready to go. I got to get back to where it's fun, you know. So yeah, it's gray, it's rainy. Is like it's too white and weird for me. I just, you know, it's where I'm from, but it's not home at all.
That's a hell of a bar right there. It's home where I ain't from, no, but that's fine. All right. Okay, so B-Dilla, all right, you didn't lie then. So all right, shout out to you. You didn't lie. All right, let's get into it. I gotta ask. Now, the Passport Bros movement. Now they've been getting steam for the last, I want to say, 2 months. And I listened to Jason Black, the Black Authority, and he had talked with this dude named Austin Holloman back in September of last year about his videos. And I guess he came on his secondary broadcast, The Business, to talk about the Passport Bros movement, because I guess Jason was going in on him. He didn't make any compelling arguments. Now, I've known about the Passport Bros I've known them, their existence since the early 2000s, but you know, it is what it is. You're a teenager, you don't really care. But then, you know, the advent of social media, you start getting more traction to it. All right, cool. That boy almost lost his life. He almost had a bounty put on his head, folks. We just gonna call it what it is. You would think those brothers who claim to want to be happy and all that, it's like, all right, you know what, that brother, he kind of messed up. Especially the OGs. You would think at least the OGs would have told him, hey, y'all need to chill. Nope. They still posting. They still putting themselves out there. Now, I told one of them, because I had debated one of them. I said, if y'all not careful, they're going to demonize y'all. Dude said I was crazy. I was like, okay, cool. Not even a week later, y'all started seeing the news headlines about that. I was like, and not one of them was positive. So let me get your take on the Passport Bros before you know, we continue this conversation, depending on how I feel about it, because I might not want to give them that much airtime.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I had a homeboy ask me the other day. He was like, because on my Facebook, I make jokes from both sides of it. So my friend was like, so what is your stance on them? And I told him I'm neutral, to be honest. I do think I think the main dudes that be promoting it and be real vocal, they do come off as lame ass niggas to me, but they ain't hurt nobody. You know what I mean? They trying to go overseas or whatever, and they ain't hurt nobody, so it's whatever. But and at the same time, though, it's funny seeing the women so up in arms about this group of men that they all claim they don't really want, but they mad and feel some type of way that they're vocalizing how they going overseas to go get women or whatever. So I think both sides of the topic is very, very funny and entertaining. And whether you go in on one side or the other, just seeing the opposition is hilarious. So I go in on both sides. I make fun of the women, clown on them. I make fun of the actual Passport Bros, because it's like, nigga, if you are really going overseas just to find a woman to be nice to you and that'll cook for you, it's like, nigga, you down bad, like real bad, like, bro. It's like for you to discount a whole country of women, like, and you ain't even traveled though. Like, my thing is, you ain't even traveled the whole country, bro. You literally in your own city. You ain't even left that.
And then you said, I gotta go. I'm leaving.
Across
I'm leaving
the
to
country,
go.
or like, you immediately did. You go out,
That's
you
what I'm
immediately saying
saying.
I had to go out the country, and it's like my nigga. But it's like if you don't have game in America, nigga, you're not gonna magically get a passport and go overseas and then magically have game over there. Women are women no matter where you go, and they can spot a lame nigga regardless of what language they speak or anything. And that's the thing about the passport, bro. You be seeing their energy and stuff in their videos, and you just be like, nigga, you just come off as a lame. Like the same way niggas were saying Russell Wilson was lame square. You know what I'm saying? Not if we weren't saying it was lame because he takes care of his kids. We were saying, nigga, you are a square lame type of dude, which is fine. That's what it is. But that's how passport bros are. Like passport bros are basically like
Facts.
Russell Wilson's, but with passports that go overseas.
Dude, you said everything I've been telling these dudes for the last couple months. Dude, y'all are projecting your insecurities on camera. One. Number two, like you just said, every female on earth has the same inherent makeup. They can spot a dude, they can finesse. And y'all are hugging up on these chicks that you just met, calling them queen, saying, I love her. Negroes, they're looking at the camera like, I got me one. And they gonna fleece your wallet.
Yeah, like I said, they forget about that Eddie Murphy joke on Raw where he talk about going to Africa.
He did the Dexter joke.
Right, bro. You know, did she come back and she like, Eddie, why you treat me like animal?
Right.
Like it's the same thing.
I don't see no ring on this finger.
Yeah. You know, so it's like, I don't know. It's not the move, but also I feel like it's this whole, like just in general, this whole dating thing that social media has been on these last few months. I feel like after Kevin Samuels died, it was like the throne was up for grabs because he was kind of the king of you know, he was the top dog. You know what I'm saying? Whether you hated him or loved him, he was the top dog in the number one spot. And so when he died, that just opened up the throne. So now it's just chaos out here because everybody's vying for that spot. But it's making I don't know, it's making men just look kind of weird now because now it's like I did used to listen to Kevin Samuels because I thought some of the stuff he said, well, I didn't agree with everything because some shit I'd be like, bro, you a little wild with that. But some of the things that he did speak on, I thought was like those are good those are good things that we do need to have conversations about. But now that he's gone and there's nobody there to kind of steer the ship, these niggas, it's a free for all out here on both men and women. It's a free for all. And so now you got these passport bros who is just like American women just ain't shit. And it's like that's just as ludicrous as the feminists saying that every black man is toxic and wrong. Like it's the same thing, just on the opposite end. And so we got to have some type of balance. And that's where these passport bros scare me because it's like, bro, you discount a whole continent of women saying that they all the same when I can tell you for a fact, like, bro, they still women, American or not. And if a woman like you, she'll do whatever the fuck she wants you to, like, she'll do whatever for you if she like you. And I feel like that's what niggas seem to forget out here. It's like, if a chick like you, she'll cook. She'll clean.
Right. But the niggas think that they can just pull a wallet out like that's supposed to impress them. Like, okay, nigga, you could take her to go shopping. You could take her out for a night on in town. You could go take her friends and her to the club. That's great. She's gonna, dude, all that submission that y'all keep showing that y'all claim these chicks are doing, they're just doing that to keep the bag going. Real female gonna be feminine for you regardless. That's why I also told him, listen, if you can't mack a broke chick, if you can't mack a chick when you broke, you're not gonna mack a chick when you got some money in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Money don't replace. Yeah, I always tell people all the time, like the baddest chick I ever had was when I was at my brokers. I mean, this chick was cold. I mean, niggas still talk about her to this day to me. They be like, bro, you still with old girl? I be like, nah, we been broke up. But that's how cold she was. Niggas was like, how did you get her? It was one of them, like, I don't even know how I got her, but I did.
Wait, you gonna have to say that again. You went out a little bit.
Oh, okay. No, I was saying the baddest chick I ever had was when I was broke in my 20s. I had she was a cold piece. I mean, like niggas was giving me props everywhere I went. They was like, how did you get her? And I would be like, I don't even know how I got her. You know what I mean? It was one of them types. But nonetheless, though, it was like I didn't have no money at the time. I wasn't no high value man. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I was just regular. I was like a 24-year-old dude just out here, and we just happened to meet and we vibed and connected with each other and whatnot. So I just feel like with this whole high value man and this new age social media dating podcast world, it's very kind of toxic because it's not realistic. Because in the reality of the real world, when you meet a chick, most women aren't stuck up in bitches and, you know, just real rude and stuff like they try to portray on social media, you know, through like dating shows and stuff, where like they're like these unrealistic, money hungry women. That's not really like when you go meet a woman in real life. If you approach her and say, hey, for the most part, women are pretty nice, and even if they reject it, they'd be like, nah, I'm not interested or whatever. But like I said, passport bros and the social media and these dating podcasts, they just paint women as like these just vile, evil creatures, and it's like, nah, man, like like they got their flaws for sure, but they're not like these evil creatures out here just set to destroy men. Like, you know, I feel like it's right. It's, you know, I don't know, like I feel like the same way people make fun of women for saying like they want like an educated thug, you know what I'm saying, who went to Harvard but got like a teardrop. Like niggas want bad bitches with 1950s etiquette, and nigga, that's not realistic, bro. Like you're not gonna get that. Like
exactly.
You know, so we gotta like, I just feel like as men, we have just as unrealistic standards as the women we chastise. You know what I mean? Like we want them to be these Stepford wives, submissive robots, and it's like, bro, that's like I said, if it was the 30s and 40s where I guess women were needing men for survival like that, that would make sense. But in this new age, that's just not realistic. You know what I'm saying? But you can definitely find a woman out here that's cooperative, that's sweet, that's feminine, that can cook and clean. Now she ain't gonna necessarily do it all the time for you, especially if she's working and stuff. But yeah, I just feel like the brothers, we gotta just kind of reset and be realistic again, you know.
Y'all better listen to this man. You know what he's talking about. But you know, the passport bros ain't gonna listen. They ain't gonna listen. They don't listen to logic. It's all good. We know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and plus their interest too is, you know, they're all for interracial sex, which is weird in itself because it's like you can find a Filipino woman in America that'll cook and clean and be like I don't really get their argument.
Dude, they're spread all over the country now. Come on, dude.
Yeah,
and some of them just came off the boat.
Yeah, I really don't get their argument of like how you have to go overseas for this.
No, because it's like, oh, it's cheaper over there and your money long. I'm like, okay, dude. And you're going to have to deal with the politics. You're going to have to deal with the people. You a black man, number one, sir. Everybody has a stereotype on us. You know better. They just finished a young boy down there in Chile. Y'all should have been quiet, but you know, it is what it is. Y'all want to do your thing. I told them, y'all go be happy. Just leave us out of it. I tell the same thing to them damn divested. Leave black men out of the reason why you want the non-black men. Leave us out of it.
Yeah, that's all I'll be saying too. It's like the fact that you used to be so vocal about like, oh, because American women ain't shit. It's like, well, bruh, if they ain't shit, you don't even need to bring them up. Then just go over to the Thailand, go over to Bali, and just go bag them and go do your. But to sit there and make a video like, oh, I got my Filipino queen because you know these American women, they ain't shit. It's like, bruh. But also too, American women don't really care.
Exactly. If you didn't mention them, they would never bring y'all up.
Yeah, it's, you know, like I said, it's goofy. It really is some goofy lame shit. Cause it's like I said, the niggas that be promoting it the most, they just really exude lame energy. And it's just like, bruh. And you can see even some of like the one dude who just went viral recently, like with the little Asian girl with the braids or whatever. But he came off like he was a little slow or something. It was some dude, he went viral like this week. But I felt bad for him because it was like you could see her body language and stuff.
Oh, that dude. Oh, that dude. Yeah, talking about I'm gonna make her my wife. I love her. She my queen.
Yeah, and like
dude, you look lame, sir.
Yeah, like he's a dude. You can see it. I'm like, oh, bro, you just a lame dude that never got any play from a woman of no race. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel bad for him. Like, oh, yeah, she did. She had to look like, oh, I can't wait to get to America, and I'm going to
and then leave your ass. Leave your ass.
Yeah, like you can see it. Like she was getting, and he can't even see it. I felt bad for him. I really did. But those are the people who are the representatives of passport bros, not the efficient brothers. You know what I'm saying? It's the lame niggas that are like the loudest ones that are being the face of the movement. And it's like they gotta really check that. If they really trying to be taken seriously, they got to check that in their ranks or whatever, because these niggas out here putting out trying to sell it to us is like, nigga, no, I don't want to be you. You a lame. Like, why would I want to be lame? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're the people, they're the salesmen. And it's like, bro, I don't want what you selling. I really don't.
Mm-hmm. And they be trying to sell it to you. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, even other men, like I said, like if you a dude and you make a joke about passport bros, they come at you like some women do. Like they come at you in full droves. They do the sign, the shit they be calling women the sign language. Like they they do the same thing to niggas. They do the shame, insult, guilt, and need to be right. They do the same exact thing as they accuse women of doing.
Man.
Passport bros. They be like, oh, you a simp for not wanting to go overseas. It's like, no, nigga, like is that nigga, I know that
I've been overseas. It's great for vacation, but right now, the way the world is, I'm not planning to go set borders over there, set a family down there. No, not right now. Yeah. I mean, it's
yeah. I got a passport.
You don't think I want to go to Japan?
Actually travel.
Facts. You don't think I want to go to Japan or Thailand and experience that culture one time? So I have some stories for the grandkids. That's great, but that's not my justification. Is not going to be to go over there, go get some ass. That's just dumb. Yeah. And by the way, all y'all passport bros that go to Thailand, y'all better start asking them questions, because we know how Thailand get down. That's all I'm finna say.
Yeah. It's called Bangkok, so it's
yeah. Go to Chris said it, Bangkok. Pause. But anyway, this is gonna be them in about a couple months if they keep going like this. This finna be them when they turn on the TV.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man. Now y'all going too far, man. You going too far, man.
That'll go be yelling at the TV at night where Tucker Carlson and them. They always had that. We got to talk more about those passport bros.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's gonna get worse. I feel like it's gonna get worse before they finally reel it back, or whatever the new trend to be after that takes over. But yeah, right
one
now,
of them I'm sorry. One of them gonna get kidnapped. I'm sorry. I don't want to put that out there, but one of them gonna get kidnapped for talking. He gonna be over there flexing, and they gonna be like, "Word."
Yeah. Real G's move in silence, and that's where they lack.
But
you gotta remember, they lames, and lames don't know how to move in silence. Because when you a lame,
that is true.
But now it's like
you hear the new move.
Like the flashy nigga be loud and stuff in the club. It's like, oh, that's a lame nigga, just want some attention. It's like they the same. It's like, because real men who going overseas and doing that and wifing up the women, they moving in silence, and they just like, I just got my family, and I'm just minding my business.
And now they trying to bring up the white boys too. They try to bring the
white boys been going over there for years, for decades, and ain't nobody. But they be quiet though. That's why they. To be honest with you, that's why they was able to do that. The Epstein Island, like, or even all the little illegal shit they be doing with that stuff. It's because they move in silence. You know what I'm saying? Like they know how to just be like, I'm going over here, for the pedophile stuff, but don't nobody know it. You know what I mean? They know how to be quiet, like, and I'm not condoning that because that's nasty and fucked up. But nonetheless. Even the white dudes who go over there just have a good time for sex tourism, they still know how to just be quiet about it. But these brothers, they just out here just running their mouth and making themselves an open target. And it's like if you just move in silence, you'll get a lot further. It's the same thing with a woman. The more you be quiet, the quicker you can get the pussy. It's the same exact thing. If you just learn to shut the fuck
up, you talk and not to them, they don't listen. Talking about, oh, I got older passport bros as mentors. I'm like, them niggas is just as lame as y'all, sir. They just did it longer.
Yeah. And plus, me, I just be like, I don't know. To me, I don't like the whole shitting on black women thing either. It's like, because that shit just be lame to me. It's like, bro,
it doesn't make sense.
If you can't get a sister to just say that, my nigga. But don't sit here and be like, oh, they difficult.
Let me tell you what really got one of them upset at me. I said, how you know that chick you running all the way 9,000 miles to go get ain't gonna call you a nigga?
Yeah, because it's a heavy anti-black culture and all over. I mean, anti-black culture is
man
in every society.
Y'all want to talk about Thailand? Y'all going over to Thailand, dude? They don't even like the dark-skinned Thai people over there. It makes you think your black ass gonna be safe. There's a color caste system in like every country. Like, there's always the darker-skinned black people of that area always get treated bad. So if you think you about to go over there and like live in some fairy tale world,
That's not realistic.
Fact.
But you know,
And y'all getting the
like I said,
light skinned ones. I wouldn't even be pissed if they was over there getting the dark skinned Filipinos, dark skinned Thai chicks. And they try to play the Afro Latina chicks. I'm like, now y'all just trolling at this point. Don't do that. But now the new move is now they talking about going to Africa. I'm like, dude. So you gonna go to Africa now? That's supposed to negate everything that we've seen beforehand.
Yeah,
like Africa don't hustle. Like Africa don't hustle.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, like if you go, like I know people over there, they be talking about how like Nigerian women, they say Nigerian women be difficult like American women. They South African women be. It's like it don't matter where you go, a woman gonna be a woman, and it's like the whole feminism and the westernization of women. No, that has infiltrated every society at this point.
They be like, oh, we can't stand Western women. I'm like, Nick, bro, they have the internet. All of them have Western mindsets
like, the internet is worldwide, so it's infected every aspect of every culture at this point. It's like the whole world of women has evolved. Yeah, so it's like you thinking you're gonna go over there and find like some, like I said, you feel like going over there is traveling back in time to the 1930s with Leave It to Beaver Land, and that's just not realistic, bro. Like that's not like women. Like I said, women are women. No matter where you go. So if a woman knows how to hustle a man, if she's smart, if she's trying to get something from you, she'll play the feminine role. It's no different than women here who act like, oh, I'm gonna be a cooking and cleaning just so I can get the ring, and then when I get married, I'm gonna just stop that shit. You don't think the women over there ain't doing the same thing? Once I get the green card, I can leave his ass. Like
exactly.
Like you're not guaranteeing nothing. It
and
really
they don't
like
want
said,
you. You just a you're just a stopgap. She really want that white man.
Yeah, and a lot of women be having boyfriends anyway over there. A lot of women they boyfriends just be pimping them out. Like they'd be like, go and get the bag and come bring it back to us. Like it's a whole thing out there. Like them women, they have a whole system in these cultures. Like they go passport bro for some reason go over there thinking like women are naive or something like that. And it's like, or don't know nothing. It's like, no, they run game out there too on niggas. Like the world is the world. There's nothing new under the sun. So thinking you going over there for something different and new is no, you should go over there to enjoy yourself and just have fun. But thinking you're gonna really find better when you already live in what is supposedly the best country in the world, that just don't make no sense.
Yeah, and all these big cities now, all the women come to you, sir. You can find a woman of every race in any city you go to.
Yeah, like I said, in LA, you can find like whatever you want in LA, you can find it. If you want a white woman, you can find it. If you want a black woman, you can find it. An Asian, a Latina. If you want a fat girl, you want a skinny girl, you can find whatever you want in Los Angeles, California. It's a melting pot. You can find them, whatever you're looking for. Like you can find it. And once again, women are not. I don't get this whole American women are just like insufferable and all this, and bitchy and all this stuff. Because like I say, anytime I've met a woman, they've always been cool. They've always been pleasant. Yes, you're gonna meet a couple people who might be some assholes, but that's wherever you go. That's life. But for the most part, anytime I've ever like met a woman or approached a woman, it's always been like on some chill, nice and pleasant. So I don't get this whole narrative now that we do where it's like, oh yeah, the modern woman is just she's just a cold, hard, masculine feminist. It's like, bro, no, they're not, bro. They're not.
Yeah, a lot of them just testing you. You're gonna see how far you willing to go and see if you really gonna put your foot down.
That part, yeah. I mean, yeah. Also, yeah. If you just be like, nah, if you let a woman know like you ain't going for the bullshit, they usually be like,
she's gonna change her program for you.
Yeah, she gonna know like, well, I can't run that with you. I can find another nigga to run it by, but I can't run it on you. I mean, it's really not that hard, you know. And like I said, I just think, like I said, with this whole, I feel like once Kevin Samuels died, there was nobody there to take the reins, and so now it's a wild west kind of world out here as far as the dating social media podcast world, where like everything's a topic. I saw some podcast the other day, it was like, should you ring the doorbell or open the door when you pick up a girl for a date? And they were like literally debating that, and I was just like, this is where we at. They was like, dudes was like, oh no, I just text her. I ain't finna get out my car and walk up to her door and knock on it. I'm like, nigga,
but then they gonna want ass at the end of the night.
And my thing is though, it's like for me, I had realized when I heard the topic, I'm like, oh yeah, like I've actually never walked up to, like when I picked a girl up, I've never actually walked up to her door. I used to just text her like, "Hey, I'm outside." But it was out of just like that's the modern way of the world today. We all have cell phones and stuff, so that's why I did it. Not because of I ain't doing nothing nice for a woman because that's what make me a simp. Like, no, it was just also like, "Hey, girl, I'm outside."
I would love to ask these passport bros if they know how to do a firm handshake. I'll be watching some of them. Some of them look like they got limp wrists. I'm just saying.
No, like I said, a lot of dudes be like they look soft spoken. Like I said, the one dude who went viral, he was a very like soft spoken type of dude.
That's what I'm saying. She go finesse that boy bad, man, and he gonna be on it. Let me tell you something, dude. If you get finessed, you better not go on no video saying how you got finessed. Do not do that. Take your shame in silence. Just say, come back later, be like, it didn't work out. I'm moving on. Don't get the crying on film like some of them divestors.
I wouldn't be surprised if it. I'm sure a lot of dudes have gotten finesse like that, but they just ain't nobody spoke on it. So, which would be good for them because that's something because they gotta. They really need to take cues from like the LGBT. Like the LGBT don't let their messiness get out there. They always keep the image up of like everything is peachy keen. But they don't never speak on like the domestic violence rates that's high, the STDs that's high in the community. Like, they never let that stuff get out. They always put the image out there like we all good over here. Like passport bros gotta do that same thing. They gotta be like we all good over here, even though we know some of y'all are out here getting finesse, but you can't let that get out. So it's best that they don't speak on it.
Facts. But this is how they're gonna be when that whole world come crashing down. Then we're gonna get into your comedy career. But passport bros, y'all finna look like this in a couple months. I'm just gonna be here for it because it's gonna be nothing but content. But let's get into your comedy career. And again, we're talking with Rubyn Warren, a comedian based out of LA. Now, tell the family about your comedy career.
So I started doing stand-up when I was 14. I was a church kid growing up, so that's kind of how I got started. Just like performing at church, just waiting on the next service to start because we be there all day. So I would like perform in between time. That's kind of how I got started. And then my dad was a stand-up comedian. He used to do it when I was growing up, so I always knew what it was and was always around it. And so when I was like 15, that's when he kind of like took me and showed me the ropes and was like, this is how you do it. And then at 18 is when I was in Atlanta, and that's when I really like hit the clubs, and that's why I really, really learned how to do it. And because Atlanta is one of them cities where, that's one thing I love about black people is like they let you know, like if you got it, you got it, and if you don't, you don't. So you quickly learn, you get your chops up fast in Atlanta, in a city like that. So I was out there for a minute, and then my friend Rodney Perry, from the Monique show, he's a comedian, and so he used to tell me in Atlanta all the time, like, you need to go to LA. That's where you need to be. And so at 21, I moved. Well, I was visiting LA. And it's supposed to be a 2-week vacation, and I was just gonna be out in LA and just visit and make connections and stuff. And in those 2 weeks, a bunch of stuff happened for me. Like I was meeting all these agents, I was meeting all these high players in the game, and so basically that 2-week vacation ended up turning to a month vacation because I had to end up staying another 2 weeks. So I had meetings and stuff, and then by the end of those extra 2 weeks, I was like, you know what? I'm here now because I ended up meeting one of my friends out here, one of my good friends. We met out here, and he told me, I told him I was going back to Atlanta. I'm gonna go back to Atlanta, and I'm gonna like stack my bread and then come back out here. And he was like, nah, man, just stay. He was like, because if you go back, you're not gonna come back in the time frame that you want to come back in. You say 3 months, but you're gonna be there for a year. He was like, so just stay because you're already here. You already made the connections. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And so that was 10 years ago. And so I've been here ever since. I've written for Comedy Central, I've written for Netflix, I've written on BET. I performed on Aspire TV. I performed on Fox, True TV. So yeah, I've been very blessed. I've done things that I couldn't imagine that I would have ever done, and met people I would have never thought that I would meet. Just being a kid in Atlanta, having these wild dreams. So I'm very blessed. I still got a lot to do and a lot of ways to go. But just in what I've accomplished so far, I'm very proud and very happy. So
Yes, sir. That's what you got to do, man. You gotta take your dreams in your hands. The same thing with me when I'm doing my screenwriting. Trying to take my dreams in my hands. That's what you got to do out here, because ain't nobody gonna do it for you.
oh yeah, that's for sure. That's number one. So yeah, LA is like it's a grind out here too. And that's one thing I do like about LA is even though we have like the sun and then the beaches and the weather and all that stuff, and it is a relaxed vibe to it, but it is still the city. So it's got a concrete jungle mentality as well. So it makes you hustle out here, because it is dog eat dog out here. It's like I said, like, don't let the beaches fool you. Like, it's still a dog eat dog. So you do have a grind and a hustle about you. It definitely it burns that fire in you if you got it. So you gotta definitely be. I always tell people, if you're gonna come to LA, you gotta be mentally strong more than anything. That's the number one thing, because like I said, LA it's a beast out here. It's a monster, and if you don't have the mental capacity, it'll eat you up and it'll spit you back out. And I've seen people come out here, with good intentions, and I've seen people come and they like, I just can't take it. I gotta leave. I've seen people come here and then they get into the wrong crowds and stuff and go left. So you got to kind of really know who you are, and really keep yourself grounded, because it's easy to get into the bullshit and to get caught up. You know what I mean? And you end up by yourself. So
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I'm down here in Atlanta, so it's almost like the same thing, but just on a smaller scale. But I mean, that Hollywood scene down here is starting to get competitive as well. So that's kind of partly why I moved down here, because I'm from New York and New York is dead. I'm just going to say, so all you New Yorkers that find this video, yes, I said it. New York is dead. There's nothing up there anymore. So, it is what it is. Get mad at me later. But yeah, down here in Atlanta, yeah, it's dog eat dog down here, but at least people still have that southern hospitality down here. Except for them white folk that came from another state.
Man. Like, people always ask. No, yeah, that's like one thing I do miss about Atlanta, man. It's just like every time I go back down and visit, you just feel like you at home. It's like you just feel like you at home, and you don't never want to leave. And I know eventually one day I'm gonna come back. Like, one day I actually do want to live back in Atlanta. I'm in LA for now, what I'm saying, with my grind. But Atlanta always been home for me, man. Like I say, every time I go back, I just be like, oh, I want to stay, but I'll be like, I know it's not time. Like, I'll know when it's time to come back. But yeah, the vibe out there in Atlanta is beautiful, because it's like country. So you got the at-home feeling, but it is the city too. So you got like that hustle and bustle vibe too. So it makes like a really good combination that you don't really find nowhere else. And it's like, it's the perfect blend to me. And there's no place like that in that I've been to in the country. I mean, there are other down south hubs, that that have similar vibes, but nothing like Atlanta.
Sir, I love it down here. I ain't going back up north. And I ain't coming the way y'all act. Y'all got too many earthquakes. You breathe, y'all
okay,
got
good. You ain't one of them New York dudes who be in Atlanta complaining all the time.
Man. They thought I was Atlanta one of them when I came down here. They thought I was one of them when I came down here. What y'all finna complain about now?
It's like, nigga, well then go back to New York then if you don't like it. Exactly. But I met several. They were like, "No, son, it ain't cold like it is in New York, son." You'd be like, "Fam, well then go back up to the cold where it's like negative 10 degrees." Do that. Nobody's stopping you.
Facts. Go up to the mountains when the white people at, and they be getting 8 inches of snow. You feel right at home.
New York niggas be the first to leave New York and complain about why they left. It'd be like, well, why don't you go? Why would you leave? What was the point of you leaving if you was just gonna complain
like
about how much you love New York?
Facts. That's like a New York cat moving to Chicago. But what you complaining about? You went to New York that was on a smaller scale with more snow, and you closer to Canada. Shut up.
Yeah. I never understood that.
Yeah.
Like, but like I said, anybody from Atlanta, we all know a New York nigga that all they do is complain about how much New York is better, but don't never go back to New York.
Because they don't, because they see that rent price and they don't want to go back.
Yeah, that
You
part.
actually
That's
see
one thing
some
I do.
grass. You actually see some grass on the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I miss I do miss the prices in Atlanta too. I do miss that. That's the first thing when I first moved out here 10 years ago. I had to really adjust to that. It was a shocker, like just how all the prices just jumped up overnight. Like I couldn't believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's getting bad down here too. I mean, like rent.
Yeah, I know. Last time I was
in the
there,
city.
yeah. Last time
like
I was
$2
down
grand.
there, yeah, they was telling me they said rent don't went up. Like it's getting rough out there a little bit. I'm like, ooh, because yeah, I remember back when I left 10 years ago, it was. Let's see. I remember we had we were in like a 3-bedroom for like $700.
3-bedroom now is probably like 24 if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's how crazy it is. Like I said, that was 10 years ago, and it was there. I remember we had it was a 3-bedroom, and it was like $700 a month for that for a 3-bedroom.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I wish I came down here sooner, but wasn't like you said before. Wasn't the right time. Wasn't the right time.
Mm.
But you also said that you were a actor and writer. So where can people find you if they want to see how you get down?
Yeah, you can if you want to see my my stand-up is online. You go on YouTube, type in my name, Rubyn Warren. I got clips on there. My Instagram, Rubyn Comedy, TikTok, all of that. My acting stuff. I'm new to the acting thing. Like I've auditioned and stuff before, but I really started taking it seriously in the last couple of years. So I just booked my first commercial. My first 2 commercials, I just booked those. So
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm still on.
Is it a Super Bowl?
Shoot, I wish, but no, not yet. But yeah. Like I said, I just started really taking the acting seriously, and so I'm starting to see results from that. So you'll see me definitely on something real soon, I'm sure.
Cool. Cool.
But yeah, my stand-up though, you can find my stand-up, like I said, all over. It's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of that is where you can find it. So
all right, that's what's up. Yeah, because I'm about to start pitching my stuff again, so this is gonna be fun. I might need people, so I'll keep you in the wind with that. I'm trying to pull that what they call it. I'm trying to bring a team together like the Avengers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we need some real black folks up in there because I'm starting to get a little tired of them trying to remix everything. You don't do that. Question. Let's get into that before we start to wrap up. Let's get into that. Now, we've watched Hollywood over the last 476 years try to tell our stories, but use people to tell our stories that are not us. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's a little bothersome. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really notice it until maybe the last 3 or 4 years. That's when I really pay attention. And once you actually pay attention, you can see it. You actually feel it as a Black American. You'd be like, that's not us. You you literally you get a something in your spirit just be like, that ain't. And then I'll be watching shows now and the Black person be talking, I'll just be like, that ain't us. And I'll Google the person. I'll be like, who is this? And I'll see the last name. I'll be like, yep, there it is. That it'd be an African last name or just a last name I know that's not Black American. And you'd be like, there it is. There it is. So I mean, on one hand, I get it because people got to eat. So I'm not, and I just know at the end of the day, they're Black and they are actors. So we all trying to get on. So I don't fault them necessarily for that. They doing what they can do. But it is at the same time though, it is kind of backhanded to Black Americans, in my opinion, because it's you kind of saying that anybody can be us. I don't know, almost as if there's nothing unique or special about us as Black Americans, we're just kind of just like a throwaway. But when you actually do kind of study us and stuff, you see like, yeah, they don't necessarily move like us. They don't have the natural cadence and the natural delivery that we, that we give, especially when it comes to like playing like street cats and stuff. Like some dudes are really good. Like I know the dude on BMF. I know everybody loves his character. They say he plays it very well. He's a British dude. But then sometimes you see some cats and you just be like, yeah, that ain't us. So it's I don't know. It's a tricky situation because, like I said, everybody wants to eat, and but at the same time, though, it's like you mean to tell me it's like Passport Bros. It's like you mean to tell me you can't find out one Black American that's good? Like you got to go find somebody else overseas to go get this one role. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to like playing like LA cats and stuff. It's like you mean to tell me you can't find out one actor that's just naturally just a LA cat, just that can just naturally do it. So yeah, I mean it's it is what it is. I hope I hope we get a resurgence of like more Black American actors and stuff. Cause like I said, you can tell, like it's very telling. And then at the same time too, you don't see us in mass playing them, or playing other people or other ethnicities of Blackness, but everybody can play us. And then also I always wonder too is why can't they just play themselves? Like why does a Nigerian have to play a Black American? Why can't the Black character just be Nigerian? But they always make sure that their last name gonna be Jackson or Jones or and they're gonna have like Amaduye, Ubuntu play it. But it's like, well, why can't he just be the South African? Why can't the character just be South African or be Nigerian or be Kenyan? Why does he have to? Why does he have to specifically be Black American, and then you have to get somebody who's not Black American to play it when we naturally have everything,
right?
Like I said,
and then they get pissed.
Go ahead.
Sorry. And then they get pissed when their film bombs or the TV show bombs.
Oh yeah, it's like like even with like I still haven't seen it because I don't really care to. I don't like really watching like Black trauma stuff. But the Judas and the Black Messiah with Daniel Kaluuya, everybody say he did a good job, and he's a great actor. So I don't take anything from him. But I do always wonder though, like how would a Black American play that role? Because for a lot of us, even with the Harriet, like they got the Cynthia Erivo lady. But I just always wonder too. Lord. It's like, but yeah, I just always think though, like if they had got a Black American to play those roles, I feel like it probably would have hit different because, with Black Americans, it's a scientific fact that we have, traumas are, genetically embedded in us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in our DNA. So imagine if you was able to tap into that for acting, and with acting, it's all about feeling and emotion. So like when you actually are from the soil of these same exact, historical icons and figures, and you can tap into something that's a little bit deeper than, than say somebody who's from overseas. And not saying that they can't tap into it because they, they're Black, so they do have a concept, they have a concept of racism and all that kind of stuff and dealing with things of that nature. So not saying that they don't have those experiences. But like when you actually from the soil where the history took place, that like that's something, that's something unique that you can really tap into. Like I always look at it as even with like every time we get police shootings and stuff, and the way Black Americans, how we all feel this hurt, like it hurts like real deep inside, is because it's tapping into the genetic trauma that we've endured in this country. So that's why every time you hear about a Trayvon Martin or a Philando Castile, it hurt every time, and it hurt on unimaginable levels. You just be like, oh, another one, and it's like it's tapping into that trauma that we're born with. You know what I mean? So I just think if we was able to take that and put that into acting, it'd be Oscars galore with us. Because you be tapping into something that you can't really explain. It's in you.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I mean, look what happened with Woman King. Y'all did all that, but we were like, we not watching this. I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch
that
people get
was
subjugated.
yeah, that was actually I did watch it, and I'm not gonna lie, as a movie, like if it wasn't about that particular tribe and stuff, as a movie, it was actually entertaining. I was like, oh, this is actually like decent. It was actually pretty well done as far as like action and cinematography and all that stuff. It was cool, but I couldn't vibe with it just because I know the true history of that tribe and what the evil deeds that they did. It was like I couldn't vibe with it. It was like, nah, man, like that's like to even try to make them some type of sympathetic heroes. I just thought that was mad disrespectful.
Very
It's kind of like a
disrespectful.
slap in the face for black people. Just to be like, yeah, this we gonna tell y'all like these is who you should look up to, and these should be your icons and your heroes. When in reality, they're the, what I'm saying, like they're the villains in our story. You know what I mean? So I thought that was kind of disrespectful to try to make that into something like special or to be celebrated when that tribe is nothing to be celebrated about.
Facts. And then I did a short about it, and they went in on me. They're like, "Why you not gonna watch it? Y'all just hate black women." I'm like, it ain't got nothing to do with black women. It got to deal with the fact
Yeah,
that I'm not watching a slave movie. That what that
yeah,
mean.
yeah. I mean, but that's a new thing now. If you don't agree with
But they
anything,
quiet
you just
now.
yeah, oh yeah, it didn't even get no Oscar nomination, nothing like that. So, but
But they
yeah,
told
I saw
Viola
that too. They were
Davis
like,
to
oh
come.
yeah, yeah. That was fun. It was crazy. So they didn't give it for that, but they gave it to Wakanda. Like Wakanda got all the accolades and stuff. Like that ended up being the movie to get all the buzz. But you could tell they were trying to position the Woman King to be the one to get everything, but it ended up going to Wakanda.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one wasn't. Yeah, like I said, as a movie, if it wasn't about that tribe, as a movie, it was actually decent. I'm not even gonna lie. I was
Mhm.
watching like, dang, I would actually like this movie if it wasn't about who it was about. It was actually a decently well done story. But just knowing it was about that tribe and them trying to like downplay the slavery in it and stuff, and acting like they was like doing it against their will, it was just like, yeah, I can't vibe with that.
Right.
So
But it's like, yeah. But before we wrap up, how is the traffic on Oscars night in LA? Do they shut down every freeway?
no, nah, shoot, it's Grammys week. The Grammys is tonight. It's only traffic gonna be in downtown, but nah, man. Like honestly, at 5 o'clock traffic on a Wednesday is more traffic than the Oscars and all that stuff. Because Oscars
Okay.
and stuff and the Grammys, those are all one point. Usually the Oscars is usually like where the Oscars be at? Oscars
Dolby
usually like
Theater.
in Hollywood. Yeah, Dolby Theater. That's over there in Hollywood Boulevard. So that's where you're gonna find it because they shut the street down because of the red carpet and stuff. So that area will be kind of jacked up, but not the whole city. I mean, tonight the Grammys is
Okay.
at the I think the Grammys is at the Staples or somewhere downtown LA Live is where the Grammys at tonight. So only that area, Olympic and Figueroa, only that area is going to be congested. But you can go anywhere else tonight and you'll be okay.
All right. I'm just saying because I know sometimes with the Oscars, I was just thinking, them celebrities be like, listen, I'm a big ass celebrity. Yo, I need the 405 shut down real fast. I don't want nobody near my limo.
Oh no. Oh no. Let me tell you, when you come to LA, you see the real. Celebrities is not what you think they trust me. Like I will tell y'all, when you come to LA, you see the real. The people that you see on TV that you think are just living these lavish lifestyles and stuff.
They not.
Some of them are. Don't get to it. Some of them are. But you be seeing like for here, honestly, LA, it's literally a have or have not place. It's no in between. You either got it or you don't. So you be seeing people. You'll see people on TV shows right now with roommates. Like be on shows. You be like, hey, wasn't you on so and so? They be like, yeah. And then they got a roommate they splitting rent with.
Yeah, I heard that from a couple comedians. Yeah, they're like they begin like 35,000 an episode, but they in a 2-bedroom somewhere.
Yeah. So it's like, trust me, like LA is all, like I said, you come out here and you think it's all glitz and glam, but then you realize like, nah, but it's LA is a city like anybody else. They just film stuff here, but it's a regular city. So it's gonna hustle and bustle. You got your haves and your have nots. So yeah, so don't ever think like just because somebody on TV they got it made. Like
Yeah,
that's
don't
the
do
first
that.
thing. So yeah, so ain't no celebrity out here got enough power to be like, I'm gonna shut down the freeway. Only person who could shut down traffic is like when the president comes into town. They will shut it down for that. But outside of that, I've never heard of an instance where a celebrity just shut down the city. That's never happened.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because I know, sometimes it's like I don't know who really big out there. So I might think, Denzel put in the call real quick, like, listen, I was Alonzo Harris. Y'all gotta let me go through. And like, man, you made us look bad. No. But somebody like Tom Cruise, he'd be like, can y'all please let me go through, shut down the highway if I jump on your couch? Like I did on Oprah that one time. And they're like, yeah, sure. Because I was thinking, because it's Oscars, I figured they either come in the limos or they come in on helicopters. Because I know none of them taking that subway y'all got over there.
Anthony, they be out here taking Ubers, bro. Let me tell you.
My man, he said it. He said it.
Yeah, like literally, no, real talk. Like I drive for Uber too out here sometimes. Just the other day, I dropped off. I ain't gonna say who it is, but I dropped off a dude. He was on TV for like he was on like one of them DC CW shows.
Nice.
The superhero shows. Yeah, but he was like a main character on there for like all. Yeah, it was a show. It was on for like 6, 8, 9 seasons. And he's in my backseat Uber. He was like, I was dropping off somewhere in Hollywood. And when he got out, I didn't realize it was him. But when he got out, I said, hey. I was like, ain't you the dude? He was like, yeah, that's me. I was like, oh, snap. I was like, I liked your show. He's like, thank you. But yeah, bro, they be out catching.
I know who it is. I ain't finna say the name. I think I know who it is. I ain't finna say the name though. But that's crazy.
Man. They be out like the celebrities is hella regular out here. Like, don't. But like I said, you wouldn't know that though if you don't live out here because what's projected to the masses in the country is that LA is like Hollywood glitz and glam and stuff. But once you really get out here and you get into the gutter with it, and you really see and trying to get your way out, like you see it for what it is, and it's a regular city like any place else. And and also you realize too, the whole Hollywood aspect is a very, very small portion of the city. Remember, we still got politicians, we still got electric people, we got plumbers. You know what I'm saying? You still got just regular everyday working people. So yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. That's crazy. That's really crazy.
Yeah.
But
at a comedy, just a quick story. I ain't gonna say who, but I remember I was at a comedy show one time, and a rapper who was on one of them Love and Hip Hop shows at the time. It was like when it was airing, it was a very popular. They didn't let him into the show. He was like, yeah, let me get in. I'm so and so. And they were like, nah, bro. And he had to turn around and he had to leave. So that show you how much celebrity can even then celebrity just still like a hierarchy. And just because you in the celebrity class don't necessarily mean you just got the all access pass.
Fact.
So
yeah, that's crazy. But yeah. So let's start wrapping this up. But let me ask you this. I have this game called 10 Random Questions where I ask, it's like a personality quiz. So it gives the audience time to, see how you really think. Because, interview is an interview. But I always ask before, would you like to play 10 Random Questions?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, folks, we're going to do some 10 random questions. Y'all can participate in the chat, if you will. But here we go, 10 random questions. 10 random questions. All right, so the first 5 questions are kind of like polygraph questions. just to establish a baseline. Then you're gonna have 5 that are catered to you. So number 1, I always ask this. I hate the answer, but I have to ask: are you team Apple or team Android?
I am team Apple, but not because like I think Apple is better. I just when I upgraded, it was time to upgrade, and I was shooting content, social media content at the time, and all my friends who were content creators like, bro, iPhone is just gonna be better for you trying to do that. So that's why I upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always liked Android. Like I've always liked Galaxies. So but right now I am Android. I mean I am Apple. I even have a MacBook now. Because my PC was just getting too slow and I needed to upgrade. So I got a Mac now. So I'm team Apple, but not because I'm not an arrogant Apple person. Like, you know, like I just feel like a lot of iPhone users act like they house niggas. You know what I mean? And I just don't like that attitude.
Jesus.
They do. They got like I'm the house closer to master attitude when it come to Apple, and they act like Android just like field niggas, and I just don't like that. Like green bubbles just irk them. I don't get that. It's but
yeah, I mean,
you know, to each their own.
Yeah, the only reason why I have an iPhone was because of Clubhouse, or else I would still be on. I would still be on Android.
Yeah,
but that's crazy. He said he house niggas with it. Jesus,
that's how they be acting, man. Like black people with iPhones swear they house niggas. They like, I'm closer to massa. I'm better than you. And you field nigga Android users stay out there and pick that cotton. Like that's how they really act.
They do a little dance.
A little bit, just a little bit. I'm telling you.
Crazy. All right. Question 2. What's your favorite music genre?
Favorite music genre? Ooh. Probably R&B. It's between R&B and hip hop. But I'll probably say R&B. And particularly I love 70s. I love the 70s R&B soul. Like that music is just the purest, blackest. That's like us in like raw form, if you ask me. Yeah.
Okay.
Love me
Number
some 70s
3.
R&B.
Number 3, your favorite musician.
Favorite musician would probably be Stevie Wonder. I'm gonna go with Stevie.
Shout out to Stevie.
Shout out to Stevie, man. That's like one of my all-time favorites. I've seen him live in concert twice. I got a couple of his vinyls. I listen to Stevie almost every day. Yeah, hands down, like one of the dopest writers, composers of all time. He's up there with Mozart and Beethoven. I mean, this man, to me, like he's a god in my eyes as far as music goes, because it's like he's blind, but he can see better than all of us through his music. So definitely Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. All right. Number 4. Your favorite TV show of all time.
Favorite TV show of all time would probably be, I'm a 90s baby, so it's probably going to be Power Rangers. That's probably, as you can see, I got the Black Ranger hat on. So
oh yeah,
I'll probably go Power Rangers. Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
are you gonna watch? Are you gonna watch that season they got on Netflix since they bring back all the OGs?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm definitely gonna watch that. I mean, it's a 30-year anniversary, so I'm definitely gonna watch that. And I can't wait for that. That's gonna be dope.
All right. By the way, are you mad at Eddie Murphy for all them Stevie Wonder jokes he used to do?
Oh no, I mean, I'm a comedian, so I'm all for like if it's funny, it's funny. Like this whole age we in now, where like everybody's super sensitive and you gotta tiptoe on eggshells with jokes and stuff. I thought that's kind of whack. It's like, you know, with comedy, you have the license to kind of get away with it. Now, obviously, you can't say nothing that's too just offensive and obviously just flat out racist or whatever. But I think with comedy, you can give it a little bit of a leeway because it's comedy, so you can go over the edge. You can laugh at the absurdness because part of comedy is exaggeration and you know, laughing at the absurdity of things. So I think, I don't really think he needs to get like bombarded for that. Like, I just feel like comedy should be a safe space to do things.
All right, cool. Level number 5. You're sitting at a table and there's a button and you push it and someone comes through the darkness and you get to talk to them for an hour. Who would it be?
Ooh, okay. It's between Michael Jackson and Malcolm X. I don't know which one I want more, but it's between them two. So, because Michael Jackson is like my all-time favorite artist of all time, and then Malcolm X is just one of my all-time favorite people in all of history. So, yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. But it's between them two, Michael Jackson or Michael X. How about that? It'd just be a combination.
Michael X. Oh Lord. Well, Michael was a militant in his in his later years. He was a militant. So
yeah, he did. He was calling out Sony for being racist, and he was owning all them white people's catalogs with the music. So yeah, you know.
Yeah, and they still talking about him in 2023.
That's what I'm saying.
Shout out to the
man.
King of Music. Shout out to the King of Music.
Yeah, man, he's the GOAT.
Even he's such a transcendent figure. Even a racist white person's kids love Michael.
Hell, the racists himself love Michael. That's how much. Like everybody,
I don't like
Michael.
none of you niggers, but that Michael Jackson boy, I was hurting that August day. I was hurting.
Yeah,
that was one of the good ones. And there ain't too many out there, but that was one of the good ones. Joseph did a good job with that one there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Mike, there's nothing like him, man. There'll never be another one like him. Like he's an all-time GOAT.
Yes, sir. All right, now we get to the 5 questions that are tailored to you. Number 6. In your opinion, what is the greatest decade of comedy?
Greatest decade of comedy. I would probably say probably it's between the 90s and the 2000s. I would probably go with 90s just because that's when comedy was really in that boom and it was groundbreaking and it kind of set up well, not in recent years, but it set up for a while what was comedy. Like I said, you had the Def Jam, you had the Comic View, you had In Living Color, you had Martin, you had you had the Wayans brothers. I mean, it was just such a boom of comedy at that time, and like I said, it was raw, and that's what I really liked about just how raw it was, and it was just unfiltered. You were just able to just do, and then to me, the 2000s was even good too because it built off of what the 90s had, had did, and then it kind of like tailored it and kind of like molded it and shaped it. And so we got some good stuff out of there too. I think a lot of 2000s comedy movies were like really, really good. And then you had like White Chicks, you had Malibu's Most Wanted, you had The Hangover, like you had comedy film to me in 2000s. 2000s comedies were like very, very funny. You were able to go there, you were able to cross the line. You had Tropic Thunder, we had the scary movies. So yeah, for me, I would say for stand-up, it's the 90s. And then I would say for like film and television, I think the 2000s was a very good run.
Okay. Number 7. In your opinion, what is your Mount Rushmore of comedy?
See, my Mount Rushmore of comedy, it would be, I'll put Bill Cosby.
Oh, the algorithm finna get you.
Hey, it is what it is, man. Like, regardless of how you feel about him, the man still, like, I'll tell you all the time, like, I don't care how you feel about him, but the man as a stand-up, he's bar none. Like he's one of my all-time favorites because when I was a kid, I was never allowed to listen to anybody but him and Sinbad because they were clean. So those two had the biggest influence on me as far as stand up. So definitely Bill Cosby, Eddie Murphy. Let me see. Okay, so we got Bill Cosby, Eddie Murphy. I'm gonna say Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, man, this is tough. There's only 4 slots. So we got Bill, Eddie, Dave,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna round it out with I'm gonna do Richard Pryor because even though I don't necessarily listen to him a lot, but him and Bill kind of laid the foundation for basically what is comedy now. So if you didn't have Richard, because Richard is actually Bill Cosby is why we even have Richard Pryor, because Richard Pryor originally was doing a Bill Cosby type of act. But then he realized there's already a Bill Cosby, so I'm going to be Richard Pryor. So he went off and kind of reinvented himself and became the Richard Pryor that we all know and love. And, if you listen to a lot of old Richard Pryor stuff too, you'd be like, oh, I heard another comic do that joke. Oh, I heard this on Comic View. And you realize like, oh, they all got it from him. So, yeah. So I got Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby, Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle. That's my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice one. I mean, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna think, and your mama gonna smack you in the mouth if you repeat something.
Exactly.
Yeah. So all right. So we're at question 9. Question 9. Okay, question 9. What is one event or achievement in life that you're most proud of?
Let's see, one event or achievement that I'm most proud of. Oh, you know what? I write my own comic book series. It's called Swag Patrol. You guys could check that out. Instagram at Swag Patrol Comic. I would say my most proudest moment was when I did my first book. How old was I? I was like 20, and I was like, I had the first book printed, and I just remember how happy I was because it was something I came up with when I was 16, and I couldn't believe that. Like, I'm like, oh snap! Like my little drawings and stuff that I drew, because I can't draw at all, but I just knew I wanted to get this book done, and so I got the very first book done at 20, and I was able to like have it set up at a show. I did a comic book show and was able to sell copies of it. And so, yeah, I think that's actually probably one of the most proudest moments of my life, because it was like I took something from an idea to a reality, and I'm still doing it. Like now I think now we got 5 books done. Next weekend we'll debut the newest book, so I make it like 5 books total. So yeah, I would say that's probably my comic book is like probably my proudest achievement, because it's just like knowing that came from me as an idea, and now it's a reality. Like I really made it, and people like it at that. It's not even like I did it and people was like, "Hey, that shit trash," but people actually be like, "Yo, these books is good." So, oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, my kid was going off, so I turned it off. I was saying, last question is, what would be one piece of advice you would give a young and upcoming comic?
Well, one piece of advice I would give a young comic. I would tell them to like not stay hungry, but like stay on it. Like you're gonna get discouraged. You're gonna want to not do it. You're gonna feel like you running in circles or like you just on an endless hamster wheel. But like you gotta like push past that. Like you gotta go out even when you don't feel like it. You gotta just write that joke even when you don't feel like it. But you know, so just keep going. Like don't stop. You gotta like just stay on that grind because it's more than a marathon. It's not a sprint and it's not a marathon either. It's something longer than a marathon. It's a triathlon or something. But you gotta just stay with it. So that's what I would tell you. Like if you're really gonna do it, like make sure you're in it for the long run. If you're really trying to like make it and do something with it. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. And folks, that has been another edition of 10 Random Questions.
10 Random Questions.
All right, folks. Mr. Rubyn Warren, thank you so much for coming on. This was fun. And I know we're going to get some heat for our Passport Bro comments, but I don't care. I don't care.
Hey man, I had a blast, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
Yes,
I really appreciate
yes,
it.
Sir. Yeah, and definitely stay in touch because we're gonna have to talk about that acting because we gotta put some real black people up on the screen and some real black people in them rooms. So yeah, we're gonna definitely stay in touch. But just let everybody know where they can find you, and then we're gonna get up out of here.
Okay, yeah. So you guys can find me Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Rubyn Comedy, RUBYN Comedy. Like I said, also if you want to follow my Swag Patrol comic book, you can. It's IG at Swag Patrol Comic. So yeah, that's where you can find me. YouTube, Rubyn Warren. And so yeah, feel free to follow me, check me out, leave a message. I'll respond for sure because I ain't got but 8 followers. So.
Cool. All right, y'all. Hey, y'all know how I give it up. Everything's in the description box. We're not gonna go over it. Learn how to read. But y'all take care, stay safe out there, and please always remember, laugh. It's free, it helps your health, and if you want to get a woman that is not from a foreign land, your smile might attract her. All right, we're out of here.
Advice. Always bet on black.